All right, well, it's great to be here in Miami on a Friday. I gotta say, this is the most exciting group that's been at any press conference, for my first year on the job, and there couldn't be a better cause. Praise God for today, this event, this historic announcement that we're gonna talk about. Thank you all for being here, and thanks for your commitment to this cause. Combating human trafficking, one of the greatest dangers we face here in this world today. So thank you. I want to thank the law enforcement officers, the victims advocates, the investigators, the people that take care of the most vulnerable in their greatest time of need. Camila's House, thank you for hosting us here. Camila's House is a great asset here in Miami, a partner to the state and this county, providing for the most vulnerable where they need it. Those that are homeless, those that are hungry, those that have experienced some of the most heinous abuses and need a way back to normal. For some of them, they may never experience a normal life again. But at Camila's House, they're bending over backwards to give that comfort, that care, that sense of security that victims of human trafficking have forgotten. So I'm honored to be joined here by a dream team lineup that'll be speaking today. The wonderful state attorney here for the 11th Judicial Circuit, Katherine Fernandez Rundle, Rodney Barreto, who's co-chair of the Miami Host Committee for the FIFA World Cup. We've got Amanda Altman, CEO of Christie's House, Gloria Martinez, who is a survivor mentor from the Family Tree of Life Center, Brad McVeigh, our new statewide prosecutor who's up in Tallahassee with me. We have Rita Peters, who is special counsel to the AG's office. She's the bulldog in the courtroom that no trafficker wants to see. Rita gets in there, she takes off the earrings, and it's go time. We've got Lynn Guyton here today too, that oversees our Human Trafficking Council in the AG's office, and this is it's a big deal for the office, but it's about to become an even bigger deal. So here in Miami, we've got a statistic that's not a great one. Here in Florida, we're the best in almost every single metric. We're number one in education, economy, tourism, incoming business growth. Unfortunately, especially here in South Florida, we are still one of the top hubs of human trafficking in the entire world. We've got to fight this. We've got to stop this. And it's no fault of ours. We have the best law enforcement in the country that fight this every single day. We've got the best prosecutors that enforce rule of law, that want to put people away for a very long time and send a message, do not do crime in this state. We have terrific victims advocates that give up everything to make these victims feel welcome, that share the love of Christ with them and bring them back to healing. So we've got the best team, but we need more resources, more attention. We've got to get the word out. This is real. A lot of people, they still think human trafficking is, a van pulls up and kidnaps a bunch of people and throws them in and it drives off. And that does happen sometimes, it does. But that's not typically what it is. It's young women that are oftentimes homeless or in need. They're looking for financial support. They turn to prostitution or pornography. They end up in a bad world surrounded by lavish goods and money and drugs and scumbags. And before you know it, they're being sold into today's modern form of slavery. They're afraid to speak up. They don't know how to get out. They have nobody to turn to. And that's where this team has got to come in. We've got to penetrate, bust our way in, take these scumbags down, rescue these women, and then find a way to wrap the community around them and bring them back to a healthy life. Here in Miami, you have become the center of the world, which is a wonderful thing. It's going to be great for our state, great for this community, but it's also going to bring danger. Where money goes, where people go, so too does evil. So too do those that want to cheat and steal. Coming up, we've got a lot of big things. I was looking at this list and I'm like, I should just rent an apartment down here or something. We've got the Commissioner Rob Gonzalez, great fan. Thank you for your support, my friend. Thanks for being here. You got the World Baseball Classic. Obviously, we know about the FIFA World Cup. Everybody's asking for tickets. Miami Open. You've got the Ultra Music Festival, the F1, the NASCAR Championship Series, the G20. This is where it's at. That's going to bring a lot of people, a lot of foreign visitors, a lot of money, a lot of entertainment, and unfortunately, a desire to do wrong. A desire to seek out prostitution, sexual deviancy, and criminal activity that goes along with it. So we're going to be ready. Today we're here to announce a first of its kind MOU between the Attorney General's Office, our Office of Statewide Prosecution, and State Attorney Rundle and her Human Trafficking Task Force. Through this MOU, the state will become part of this task force. We're going to be helping to give them prosecution support, law enforcement support, bodily resources, but also $1.5 million from our state prosecution. To make sure we get them the resources they need. This is a start. It's not enough, but it's a start to properly educate, deter, investigate, detain, and punish. And you better believe that's my favorite part of this. Punish, we absolutely will. I'll give you a few statistics before I turn it over. Florida continues to see the lowest crime levels in history. Even in here in Miami, you've got over 30-year crime lows, despite the population growth and money, because we get it. Our law enforcement officers put their lives on the line. We have their backs. Prosecutors like the state attorney here, they step into the courtroom and they enforce rule of law. They do not allow bad guys back on the streets quickly. They protect our families. So we're grateful for that. We have taken down over 1,400 child predators in my office just over the last year alone. Many of these are criminals that have engaged in serious trafficking. More importantly, with the help of a lot of the groups that are in this room today, we've rescued over 300 children that were previously reported. I'll conclude by saying I'm not the expert here the way these are, so I'll turn it over to others, but you know, the see something, say something phrase is not just a phrase. It means something. When you're in the community, when you're at hotels, when you're at gas stations, rest stops, in public transit, you have the opportunity to alert people if you see something that doesn't look right. If you see young people with older men, people that are engaged in a lot of makeup and sexual attire, there's a lot of warning signs that others can better educate you on. Pick up the phone and let us know. And I'll let the state attorney talk about the best way to do that, but give us the tip. And for every 99 tips that go nowhere, if one tip can save somebody, a young woman in need or a child, then it's worth it. You don't need beyond all reasonable doubt to pick up the phone and give us that tip. We need to know. We recently took down a guy, Marquette James, a couple weeks ago, and it came from an anonymous tip. Somebody called in, it wasn't one of the victims, but it gave us enough to get going. Investigators, they pursued it, they dug in, they followed up, and they were able to get to 2 victims of human trafficking that were afraid to speak up. But we were able to give them comfort, give them courage, the support they need to go forward, provide testimony, and ultimately put this scumbag trafficker away. We got a sentence of over 120 years. Wow. And that's not long enough. Earlier this year in Lake County, we had a similar situation, a 911 call from a gas station, but the person hung up right away. The cops, they got there, and rather than just check a box, look in the gas station, they decided to patrol the area, look around, and nearby they found a young woman that was really shaken up, a minor, a young girl, a child, who had been the victim of trafficking at the hands of 2 gruesome guys. Those officers, they showed up, they did the work, they investigated, and ultimately they got the girl to come forward and tell them what happened. So don't be afraid to speak up. These girls, They're not in a place of strength where they can do that. They need our help, they need our prayer. They need us to turn to God and help fight the good fight to end this evil. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to care a lot about this. You're going to see a lot more of me, I hope, down here in Miami and across the state. This is a big problem. We've got to combat it. You got my word. We're going to give everything we can to put these bad guys away and save these women and children. All right. God bless.
Thank you so much, General. Powerful words. And I just want to say great afternoon today, right? All of our partners are here for you, General, and we're just so excited that you're here. And I do want to just start out that thank you for coming to our community. Thank you for bringing your lovely wife and your great team of statewide prosecutors. Rita, yep, you don't need those earrings, he's right. And of course, we want to thank you for your generous allocation of resources and funds for our human trafficking efforts here in Miami-Dade County. But I also want to do a shout out to the General because I want to thank you and acknowledge you in front of this community for all the times that you have taken our calls, that you've met with us, that we've been able to meet with your statewide prosecutors. You have always been at a call, at a meeting, anytime that we asked you to be there. And I thank you so much for that, for your professional and your personal guidance and your time. So as the General mentioned just a few moments ago, you know, he's been around the state. And so we know that what he knows, that Florida now ranks and has ranked for almost the last 10 or 11 years, number 3 in the United States for the number of victims of human trafficking. And those of us here in Dade County, we love being number 1, right? But not when it comes to the number of victims of human trafficking. And so since those numbers came out from the national database, we all rallied. And we've been on a vigorous mission to fight against this modern day form of slavery that we call human trafficking. And our mission was to find out who they are, where they are, rescue them, arrest them, and take them off the street so they cannot hurt one other little person. And it's not only my office, and the wonderful team, many of them are here, but you all know we meet all the time. It's all about all of us together, all of the law enforcement agencies, and all of our federal partners, state partners, local partners, NGOs, everyone in this community, service providers, we all rallied together. And my office has been very blessed that we have over 70 sworn police and law enforcement agencies, including local, state, federal partners, many of whom are here today. Now, we're so excited that the Attorney General's Office of Statewide Prosecution and some former employees of our office, I was trying to tell them, can we recruit them back? But they don't want to come back. That's okay, John. They're in good hands with you. That you're joining our Miami-Dade Attorneys Human Trafficking Task Force. This not only strengthens our efforts in arresting and prosecuting traffickers, but it also sends an unequivocally clear message that exploiting our vulnerable children and our youth will never, ever be tolerated. I want to thank so many of our law enforcement partners, community organizations, service providers that are here in this room and not with us today for all of our collaborative effort to end human trafficking in our community, which is very victim-centered, trauma-informed model that people around the state and people around the country have now used as an example. The education and awareness piece is extremely critical. We need to know, as the General was talking about, we need to know the signs. We need everybody's eyes and ears to pick up the phone, as he said, and call. And by the way, we really want to thank our private sector so much, as well as our public sector. So many of you were part of what we created as a one-of-a-kind, human trafficking, victim-centered building that's just around the corner from here. And so far, we have handled over 948 human trafficking related criminal cases. We've touched the lives of 1,391 victims, and we've received over 3,168 calls to our local rapid response team, you know, the hotline that we have, and the response to our QR code. And by the way, General, I kind of want to apologize to you publicly if I appear to be stalking you every time I was at a public event where you were, asking for resources. That's because I was stalking you. And just to you know, kind of sum up what he was talking about, he went through the list. But this community, we're so blessed, we're so magical. Everybody wants to come here. Everybody wants to be part of us. And so, as he said, when the good guys come and they want to enjoy our community, we all want to do it together, the bad guys come. And you heard the list: the Baseball World Classic, the Ultra Music Festival. Rodney Beretta was just telling me PGA's coming here, the F1 Miami Grand Prix, NASCAR, and the list goes on. We know from the leadership, Rodney Beretta, by the way, Rodney Beretta, who brought in Alina Hudak, who brought in Ray Martinez. These are the leadership that are at the helm, and we're so fortunate to have them in our community. And I want to thank you, Rodney Beretta, and Alina, and Ray, I see you over there, for providing the leadership that it's going to take to navigate through all of the people, the thousands of people that we expect to be coming. I also want to say that we love your statewide prosecutor, Mr. General, and that includes Rita, Julie, all of them, and we also are very grateful for all the exceptional funds, right, that you will be providing. And so that you know, primarily those funds will go to our undercover operations. Go to our awareness campaign, but all of the, I see some of the chiefs here as well. Can you, by the way, everybody in law enforcement who's part of our task force, I see you gentlemen gentlemen and ladies, please stand up. So until recently, most of the funding for those undercover operations, as I told you, the 70 sworn law enforcement officers that are part of that task force, was funded with the big help of Hugo Barrera there from HIDA. Unfortunately, thank you for that, for all those years, but those operation funding has really dwindled and are no longer available. So thanks to you, General, this new funding that you're providing will be available to not only continue what we do, but to expand so that we can meet the needs of the increase that we can expect with the operations of all of those folks coming to town. I just want to mention a few partners. Although so many of you in this room, and I thank you all the time, but if I were to go through this whole list, the General might take his check and run. You know? So, I just want to thank all the officers that I mentioned, our community partners, our sheriff's office, for everything she does and they do for us. And Christie House, we have Amanda Altman here, the Women's Fund, the Miami-Dade Alliance on Human Trafficking, and of course, where would we be without Camilla's house? Camilla, thank you. Thank you so much. The chair, the board chair is here somewhere. We want to thank you because years ago when we started this, it actually goes back to 2016, there was not a shelter in Dade County for victims that were over the age of 18. There you are, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much. And they opened their house, they opened their doors, they opened their hearts, they let us in, and all of you are providing services through them and with us, and I thank you very much for that. By the way, the General took a tour, and his wife went with us. It was quite impressive, wasn't it? Thank you. So, in the end, we want to thank all of our partners in the private sector that have stepped up to want to embrace what we're doing as a community. For instance, Hard Rock Stadium, the Miami Heat, Kaseya Center have partnered with us, as well as the Marlins and the Lone Depot Park. Spanish Broadcasting System has been a partner of ours for years, donating billboard space throughout the county. Amtrak has been amazing, helping us rescue victims that are crossing state lines. Miami-Dade, the Downtown Development Authority Business District, they've already put up 200 kiosks with all of the awareness, the QR code, the hotline number. If you go around Bayfront Park, you'll see them there, you'll see them up there as well. And then our school partners. Our school partners have just been incredible, and they had a surprise for us last week or 2 weeks ago. They now have the first of its kind police car, completely wrapped with all kinds of, look at the signs, here are the hotline numbers, who to call, QR code, and it's going to go around our schools, in our parking lots, throughout this community, to recognize that we are all in this together. I want to thank all our elected officials, Roberta Gonzalez and others that are here, for really supporting this. It really is a testament. The reason that the general is here in our community is because he sees all of you. He sees and feels the energy of what we're doing as a community with respect to human trafficking. So I want to thank all of you for being here. And again, I want to thank completely our Attorney General. I have to tell you, anytime I've asked him for anything, he has this incredible look. He just goes, looks at you and goes, whatever you need. Whatever you need.
I learned early on, you don't want to cross that woman. It's easier to support her than anything else. All right, next we will hear from the great Rodney Barretto, representing FEMA.
Thank you, General. For those who don't know, I used to be a policeman back in the early 80s. And then in 2020, I became a businessman, got out of law enforcement. And then in 2020, I was chairing the Super Bowl committee. And I called the state attorney and I said, Kathy, you know, the NFL gave me $100,000 for a human trafficking program, but they want to do it anonymously. So just think about that. Go back 6 years, we didn't talk about human trafficking. Look how far we've come.
Amen.
And so I got with Kathy and she goes, you know, Rodney, I just opened this new facility. I want you to come take a tour. And I was at all. What did she put together? And I said, you know, Kathy, this is an amazing treasure for our community. So we got to help you. So from that point on, we then, fast forward, the mayor called and said, listen, I want you to co-chair the FIFA World Cup game and help us put this together. And I said, absolutely. So we're going through the contract and I said, in there's a provision, a human trafficking campaign. I called Kathy up. I said, Kathy, guess what? Human trafficking campaign, we got to do it again. And she goes, oh my God, let's do it. Let's get together. But I'm going to need some help from the state. I said, what do you need? She goes, I need some help, additional support, or how can you help me? I said, let's call the general. I'll get the general to help you out. Anyways, the general, the modest as he is, the former chief of staff to the best governor in the United States, I called the general. I said, General, Kathy and I need to see you, and we need your help for human trafficking. And he said, you have 110% support from me. So I just want to thank the general on behalf of the citizens of Miami-Dade County. Thank you for all you do for our citizens.
If you're looking for World Cup tickets, talk to him on the way. All right.
If you make a donation to human trafficking,
Maybe we got an idea here. All right. Amanda Altman, CEO of Christie's House.
Good afternoon. My name is Amanda Altman, and I have the privilege of serving as the CEO of Christie House, the nationally accredited children's advocacy center that has been serving the Miami-Dade County community for 31 years. Together with our state attorney and our multidisciplinary team of partners, including law enforcement, medical providers, child protection investigators, and victims advocates, we protect children from sexual abuse, human trafficking, and other forms of childhood trauma. We provide trauma-informed therapy. We guide children through the legal process. We fight for justice. And we work in the community to prevent abuse before it begins. We're gathered today because human trafficking is not a distant problem. It is a reality in our own community, in our own neighborhoods, and in our own backyards. As has been mentioned, Florida ranks third in the nation for reported incidents of human trafficking. In Miami-Dade County, we see how vulnerable youth are targeted, often online often after grooming, and often layered on top of prior trauma. At Christie House, through our Project Gold program, we operate the first of its kind in this community and the first drop-in center in the state of Florida for child trafficking survivors. That leadership began years ago alongside the state attorney's office when many jurisdictions were still misunderstanding what trafficking looked like. Project Gold provides full wraparound services, including individual trauma-focused therapy, specialized group therapy, life skills education, academic support, workforce readiness, and job training assistance. Because healing requires more than safety. It requires stability, and it requires opportunity. That is why this investment from the Attorney General is so critical. It provides resources that support the healing process by strengthening investigations, deepening coordination, and ensuring that traffickers are pursued aggressively and effectively. And here's the message, clearly and without hesitation. Not in our city, not in our county. If you exploit a child in Miami-Dade County, we will find you, we will prosecute you, and we will stand with and support our victims. What this task force represents. I want to speak personally for a moment about our state attorney, Kathy Fernandez Rundle. For decades, she has led this community with integrity and courage. Her office was among the first in this region and in this state to recognize child sex trafficking as the crisis it is, and to build a coordinated response to it. She did not wait for headlines. She acted early, she acted decisively, and she has mentored so many, including me, to understand that justice must be relentless, but always grounded in compassion for victims. Christie House and I are proud to stand beside her and her office in this fight. Miami-Dade County is growing rapidly. We're seeing significant migration, global investment, and unprecedented visibility. With major international events, including the World Cup, our community will be showcased on the world stage. Growth brings opportunity, but it also demands vigilance. If we want Miami-Dade County to be known for prosperity, but also for principle, not only for growth, but for safety, we must continue investing in and protecting our most vulnerable citizens. Today's announcement does exactly that. Because protecting children from exploitation is not political, it is not optional, it is fundamental, it is a moral obligation, and it is who we are. In Miami-Dade County, our children are not for sale. And Christie House will be here, as we have been for 31 years, and for as many more years as it takes, working alongside our partners to make sure that every child in this community is safe from exploitation. Because when this community decides that something is unacceptable, we don't just talk about it, we end it. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we completed our first big child rescue mission last summer in the Hillsborough County area, we were stunned when it wrapped up and we'd rescued 40 kids. It was the record. We would break it several months later, but I kept asking our team, I'm like, all right, where are these 40 kids now? Like, where are they? And somebody, on the law enforcement side said, well, we don't do that. That's other people. I said, we gotta fix that. Like, I want to know where these kids are going, because this is where the real work begins. Rescuing them is not the end, it is the beginning. So we're so grateful to partners and the groups out there that are providing that housing, that comfort, that service that is going to lead to the road to recovery. All right, next we've got Brad McVeigh, statewide prosecutor. Say hi, Brad. Say hi.
thank you for having us. This is a fabulous opportunity for our office. We are so thrilled, and I guess I'll start by thanking the state attorney. This is a effort that our Attorney General has been out in front of. Human trafficking is probably his #1 issue, so we were thrilled when State Attorney Rundle called, and we are just so incredibly grateful to be part of this task force and this opportunity. And with that, I'll turn it over.
Gotta put my glasses on so I can show my age. Today marks a very significant step forward in Florida's fight against human trafficking. As Miami prepares to host some incredible events, some of which I will be here for, especially baseball, the mission is very, very clear. Florida will not allow these events to become a playground for those that want to hurt our citizens and our most vulnerable. Today marks a great day for our victims and our survivors, because we will be working lockstep with one of the very best state attorneys that I have ever had the opportunity to get to know. Just a little bit of history. I have been in this area of prosecution, in the special victims area, for approximately 26 years. I started when I was about 13. And I have always known, the entire time that I've been prosecuting, that Miami just knows how to do it. KFR, as I love to call her, she just knows how to fight this crime. She just knows what victims need. And the reason is very clear, because she puts victims first. To say that she is a force to be reckoned with is really an understatement. I have looked up to her for my 26 years. She has built a machine in Miami that I hope gets replicated throughout the entire state. And she has staffed it with some of the most incredible prosecutors, such as 2025 statewide councils, human trafficking prosecutors. That I really hope we will be at the council table together in front of a jury prosecuting some people together here soon. But this is how it's done, partnerships. Partnerships, not because it makes our job easier, but because our community and our victims deserve that. I'm deeply honored and blessed to serve as special counsel for the best attorney general in the entire United States, James Uthmeier. The best statewide prosecutor, Bradley. When they say we are going to keep Florida safe, they mean it. In our free state, we are not going to allow the criminals to take over. Believe them, under their leadership, the Office of Statewide Prosecution has charged, just in the last year, 65% more defendants for human trafficking. We have received over 1,200 months in prison sentences. It's over a century. And we have increased the number of convictions at our office to a nearly perfect record. What makes me giddy as a prosecutor who has always loved to be part of this world, to marry these two forces, to marry KFR and the Attorney General, whose missions are to keep Florida safe, is incredibly amazing. It sends a very clear message. To our survivors, we see you, we hear you, and we are coming to help you. And to those who seek to hurt our citizens, we see you, we hear you, but we're coming after you. Together we are aligned, we are prepared, and we will pursue justice without any hesitation. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rita. Yeah, you don't want to be on the other side of her. That's for sure. Again, thank you to Camila's House for having us. No better place to assemble a group like this. So to round us out here, before we get to the paperwork and the check that the state attorney cares more about, Annie, would you come up and say a few words close up?
Mr. General, thank you so much for bringing this Day of Hope to Miami. And for us, it seems so fitting that it's here at the Cathedral of Compassion of Miami, Camila's House. We've been here since 1960, a part of this community, and working so hard to rescue those that have fallen off. And I think the thing that makes us great is not just that we have 1,700 people across Miami-Dade County sleeping under our roofs every night, or that we serve 250,000 meals a year, or that anyone who's impacted, whether you're a veteran or an elderly person or a youth or a family, woman with children, we serve all of these people, but also that we've opened the doors to this great program, this program that really rescues people who've been victimized, who've been abused, who've been exploited. We did this years ago at the request of our awesome, in my opinion, the best state attorney in the country, Katherine Fernandez. It was a call to open our doors once again in a great way, the way we've always done, because our Catholic roots are strong, and we believe that that's what God calls us to do, thanks to the great order of brothers that established us long ago, like this great gentleman who was actually there 450 years ago when the order was established. Just looks very young. But in looking at our system and what we do, we focus so much on really healing and addressing those physiological needs, like I mentioned to you, right? Just giving safety, the basics, so that people can begin to imagine a better day tomorrow. And partnerships like this, leaderships like your leadership, and actually I want to say thank you as well to you, Gene Uthmeier, for coming down and also asking all the awesome questions you asked, and for literally sacrificing from your family, giving us this awesome man to lead the charge the way he is. This is where we will rescue people. This is where we will heal them. This is where we will give them dignity. This is where we will give them protection. I mentioned before to the state attorney that Camila's House during the FIFA World Cup will open up its doors and expand an additional 50 beds to serve. And so when we heard about this incredible support coming from you, we just thought that the entire allocation was coming straight to Camila's House. The state attorney told us that was not the case. But we do love this partnership. It's sacred to us, and it's sacred because we have sacred people around us that support us and lead us. Our great chairman, Albert Molina. It's beautiful to have you here, Nina Hudak, as well, and all of these great attorneys that are fighting fiercely. Commissioner Gonzalez, thank you for being here. We are who we are. We have the capacity to deploy the best of our talents, the best of our spirits, the best of our knowledge, and clearly as a community we're doing it together, the best of our law enforcement, because we have great supporters and heroes and champions like yourself and everyone else that's standing here with us. So thank you and God bless. Thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate your presence, and I understand now that we're going to go on and formalize this so that you can't run away with the checks.
Fitting the heart that's up on the tower of the turret is very much a beacon of hope here in this community, a symbol of sanctuary to those that are suffering. So thank you for being here. Thank the Lord, most importantly, for giving us the resources, the strength, all the tools to go out and seek first His kingdom. All right, let's do it. Zoom in.
it.
Yeah.
We did it. Thank you, James.
All right.
Here we go.
All right.
Stand up here. Thank you. Oh, that's what you really want. Let's do it.
All right. But I just want to double check. And it's signed. Thank you.
Wait, I think it's missing a zero.
I'm looking you for that extra zero.
We got some more work to do.
Alina, come. Oh, yeah? Roberto. Sergio. Jorge Fuentes. FBI staff, Hugo.
Oh, yeah, Katherine. Let me get the microphone right here. 3, 2, 1. Survey. 4, 3, 2, 1.